All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right into a really sudden, pretty shocking announcement that sent massive waves through the tech and immigration world. And it all centers on one critical visa program for skilled workers.
And it all kicks off with this number, $100,000. This figure just appeared almost out of nowhere, and it's now attached to one of the most important, most sought-after visas for coming to work in the United States.
So let's get into it. What is this proclamation really? Who's going to feel the impact? And, maybe the biggest question of all, is this thing even going to stand up in court? Because the legal challenges are already piling up.
Okay, first things first. Let's just lay out the facts. What does this announcement actually say? So, for anyone who might not be deep in this world, let's do a quick refresh. The H-1B visa, this is a huge deal. It's basically the cornerstone for so many U.S. companies, especially in tech, that need to bring in top-tier talent from around the world for very specific, specialized jobs. So here's what the proclamation does. It slaps a new annual fee of $100,000 on every single H-1B visa applicant. That is just a staggering number. And it wasn't even announced in a vacuum. It came out alongside this other thing, a new gold card visa program that costs $1 million for an individual. It's a massive, massive shift. So you're probably asking, why? Why do something so dramatic, so expensive? Well, the administration has an official justification, and it's all about one thing: hire American. This quote really gets to the heart of it. The core argument here is that big companies are gaming the system. The claim is they're using H-1B visas to hire foreign workers who are cheaper than American workers, effectively replacing the domestic workforce. And this policy, they say, is designed to put a stop to that, period. So the idea is to use this massive price tag as a kind of filter, right? The thinking goes, if you make it that expensive, companies are only going to bother for the truly extraordinary talent, the people they absolutely can't find in the US. It's meant to make it just uneconomical to hire foreign workers over American grads. And this is where you see the narrative just completely split in two. It's like two different universes. On one hand, you have the administration's view, this protects American jobs. But on the other hand, you have legal experts and economists looking at this and just shaking their heads. They're calling it everything from legally sloppy to devastating for the US economy. So that brings us to the pushback, because it was immediate. We're talking minutes and hours after the announcement. Legal experts were already all over this, just tearing it apart. And the consensus was pretty brutal. Lawyers who looked at the actual text called it very sloppy. They said it was lacking any real legal justification. What's even crazier is that it seems to have come as a total surprise to a lot of people, maybe even folks within the administration. That's how fast and unexpected it was. This quote from one expert just says it all. The prediction was that the only people whose wages would rise immediately would be the lawyers working overtime to sue. That's how confident they were that this was going straight to court and, well, probably not going to survive. But look, legal battles can take a long time. And while all that plays out, there's a real human cost. The announcement itself, just the words on the page, created instant real-world chaos and a ton of anxiety for thousands and thousands of people. And to really get a sense of that human impact, you've got to look at who holds these visas. Over 70%, 70, of all H-1B recipients are from India. So when a policy like this drops, it doesn't just affect a random assortment of people. It hits one community particularly hard. And here's where that sloppy legal drafting really caused problems. It created total confusion at the border. The way it was written, it sounded like if you were a current H-1B holder and you were just out of the country for a bit, say visiting family back in India, you might not be able to get back into the US unless your company coughed up the $100,000. The White House later denied this, but the text itself sparked panic. And this quote really captures that feeling. Can you imagine? You're abroad, you see this news, and you suddenly wonder if you can go back home to your job, your apartment, your life. You can just feel the panic. It literally caused a rush of people trying to get back to the US before the rule officially kicked in. So all of this chaos and uncertainty leads to the big question: what now? What are people supposed to do right now? And what's the long-term fallout here for the tech industry and the US economy?
Well, the advice from lawyers was immediate and very clear. Pretty much, don't move. If you're inside the US, postpone any travel abroad. If you're outside the US, you might have to delay your return. And for everybody on an H-1B, it was time to start looking at alternatives, just in case.
And this really gets to the potential long-term fallout and the giant irony of the whole thing. A policy called Hire American could end up pushing jobs out of America. Think about it. If it costs a fortune to bring a talented engineer to the US, why wouldn't a company just hire that same person to work remotely from Canada or India? It could actually accelerate offshoring, not stop it.
So, where does that leave us? You've got this collision between a policy proclamation and the rule of law. And while that battle is fought in court, who's bearing the real cost? It's the thousands of skilled workers, their families, and the industries that rely on them, all of them just caught in the middle, trying to figure out what's next.